In today's top stories, the FDA has expanded the label for use of the cannabis-derived drug Epidiolex. Cannabis industry insiders are concerned about unemployment subsidies or lack thereof. And congressional researchers have new data to back up what many advocates for legalization have been saying for years. It's Tuesday, August 4th, and this is your Trichomes Morning Buzz.
Broadcasting live from the trichomes.com studios in Southern California. It's time for your Morning Buzz. We bring you late-breaking news that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the cannabis industry.
First up today, the FDA has expanded the use for Epidiolex to treat multiple sclerosis. According to Ganjapreneur, the Food and Drug Administration has expanded the label for the cannabis-derived pharmaceutical Epidiolex to treat seizures associated with tuberous sclerosis complex, or TSC, and allowing the drug to be used by patients 1 year of age and older. The GW Pharmaceuticals drug is the only FDA-approved form of CBD derived from the cannabis plant. The medication was initially approved by the agency in 2018 for treating seizures associated with Dravet syndrome or Lennox-Gastaut syndrome in patients aged 2 and older. GW CEO Justin Gover said the label expansion allows patients with TSC to immediately access the medication. In the U.S., approximately 50,000 people suffer from TSC, and that expands to approximately 1 million worldwide. About 85% of patients experience epilepsy, and more than 60% do not achieve seizure control. The drug is also approved in the European Union under the same name with a slightly altered spelling. Regulators in Europe are currently reviewing the application to expand the label for TSC and lowered age range for patients.
Next, a new survey is attempting to figure out if the loss of the $600 weekly unemployment benefit will affect cannabis sales. The $600 weekly subsidy that was aimed to keep millions of unemployed Americans afloat since late April expired on July 31st. Congress has been unable to strike a deal to renew or replace the CARES Act, so all sectors of the U.S. economy are fearful of what lies ahead, and that includes the cannabis industry. MJ Biz Daily reports, industry experts said the loss of that additional money in the pockets of Americans might very well put at least a temporary damper on cannabis sales, which so far have held up relatively well during the pandemic. I'm confident in saying that reducing an individual's total earnings will affect the amount of money they'll be able to spend on cannabis, said Andrew Livingston, Director of Economics and Research with Denver-based cannabis law firm Vicente Sederberg. He goes on to say, but I would expect a larger impact on adult use sales because medical patients treat cannabis a lot like their necessary medicine. Go check the results from this survey linked to this story at trichomes.com.
And last up today, a report from congressional researchers shows the legal cannabis market is hurting Mexican drug cartel profits. Marijuana Moment reports demand for cannabis illegally trafficked from Mexico will continue to decline as the legalization movement spreads, a new report from Congress's research arm states. With a growing number of U.S. states, as well as Canada, allowing people to legally purchase cannabis in a regulated market, they're less inclined to seek out the product through illicit channels, the Congressional Research Service said. Authorities are projecting a continued decline in U.S. demand for Mexican marijuana because drugs other than marijuana will likely predominate, CRS wrote in the report, which was published last week. This is also the case due to legalized cannabis or medical cannabis in several U.S. states and Canada, reducing its value as part of Mexican trafficking organizations' portfolio. It also notes that Mexico itself is also considering cannabis legalization and regulation after a Supreme Court ruling deemed the prohibition on personal possession and consumption unconstitutional in 2018. Based on Border Patrol seizures, smuggling has fallen 78% over just a 5-year period, the think tank found. Because marijuana was the primary drug smuggled between ports of entry where Border Patrol surveils, the value of the agency's seizures overall on a per-agent basis has declined 70%.
And that was today's Buzz. Thanks for listening. For more cannabis news and insights from industry professionals and a place to discuss these stories and others, visit trichomes.com.
And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. You can also keep up with Trichomes on all social media platforms and the Trichomes YouTube channel. For trichomes.com, I'm Allison Ben-Yehuda.
And I'm David Fortin. Take care, and we'll see you again tomorrow.